first thing that you have to remember is when you have an inclined plane surface, the component that we take, so one is the weight. Weight is always vertical regardless of what the plane surface is. So this is the weight. Let me write it as, if the mass is m kg, so the weight is mg. And then we have the normal reaction force, which is always perpendicular to the surface. How this thing looks different from the plane surface is that in case of a plane surface, the weight would be like this. So this is mg Newton, so vertical, and the normal reaction force would be perpendicular to the surface. It looks like this. But when you change the plane to an inclined angle, what happens? This is still vertical. The weight is still vertical. But since the reaction force, the normal reaction force is perpendicular to the surface, it changes. Now, one of the main thing that we do is we take components along the plane and normal to the plane. That means if you think about taking axis, we consider this to be the x-axis now. So we don't talk about the horizontal axis anymore. We consider this to be the x-axis now and this to be the y-axis now. So it means instead of taking the axis from horizontal and vertical, we take along the plane and normal to the plane. And that is the main difference when we do this type of sum, because it's a lot convenient when we have along the plane and normal to the plane. So one of the things that needs to be memorized, it is very, very important. So when you break down the component of this weight, because since it is neither along the plane or normal to the plane, this component needs to be broken down. But the normal reaction force is already perpendicular, meaning normal to the plane, so you don't need to take components of this. So if you take component of this, one of the component would be this. So this is normal to the plane. Another component would be this, which is along the plane. So along the plane is going to be mg sine theta, and normal to the plane is going to be mg cos theta. You need to memorize this. Now, why is this happening? If you take a look at the angles, you would see what's happening is this. This is 90 degree and this is also 90 degree. So if this is 90 degree and this angle is theta, this angle is going to be basically 90 minus theta. And since this is 90 degree, this angle is going to be 90 minus theta. So this also becomes theta. So by that rule of components, so when you have this as one of the angle and when you have this as one of the components, so this angle is theta and you have this as one of the components. So by this, if this is mg and if this is theta, this is going to be mg cos theta and this is going to be mg sine theta. So this is how it goes. So every time you think about an inclined plane surface, the first thing you have to think about is breaking down the component of the weight mg, which is always vertical. So previously we took components along the plane and normal to the plane, which was along the plane was horizontal. So instead of saying along the plane, we said a horizontal component. Now normal to the plane, instead of normal to the plane, we said vertical component. So this was horizontal component and this is vertical component. That means since the plane is basically which we're talking about, the horizontal component, vertical component, so here it doesn't really make any difference at all. So but here, since the plane is inclined, we have to incline the components also.